Hey everybody, we've had a lot of people asking about what Angel and I usually carry to league, so I thought I'd kind of count down our top 5 favorites right now. Usually take 6 just because, and one apiece is a spare ball. Storm Products, Turbo Grips, Bowlers Mart, CoolWick, SRGBBFS, and Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas sponsor the videos. Follow the links in the description or at the end of the video for your bowling needs at Bowlers Mart that associates your purchases with me. Use my code Rosdahl10 for 10% off at CoolWick, and check out the SRGBBFS group on Facebook for all things SPI, specializing in used, rare, and overseas equipment. So who takes 6 balls to league anyway? We do, because we want to, and it's hard to narrow down 40 balls that far in the first place, let alone lower. Now, whether it's for fun or just in case something goes sideways, there's nothing wrong with taking 6 balls. Matter of fact, I think 4 to 6 is a pretty common number anyway. We'll start with me, and I'll talk spare ball first. It's really the most important one, and my heaviest use ball recently. I'm a big fan of the off-white mix, number one, because I don't really like spare balls. I'm used to throwing reactive at stuff, but I can't quite flatten my hand out enough over here, so I started missing a lot of left side stuff inside because even smoother stuff boinks over here. The mix is a great compromise because you can see it does have enough grab to stabilize but still roll true. Plastic can sometimes hydroplane or even back up, and the off-white gives me the roll of reactive on the lane without the hook or sharpness. The next ball is perhaps my favorite right now, and it's a Hustle Camo. I shot my second lefty 300 with it recently. It's clean but rolly, it's firm on the back end but not sharp. It lets me catch it a bit more and not worry so much about chucking it down the lane, which is kind of a lefty way of life usually. It's about the perfect strength too. I don't have to catch it to get it to move. I can play straighter or hook the entire lane if I have the friction for it. It shapes well from straighter and from deep. I'm not locked into any one zone on the lane. It can handle the fresh most of the time, and is a rare instance recently of factory shine actually looking pretty good for a change. It's just a nice, controllable, and consistent ball. Next, I've been actually throwing the RST-X2 a lot lately. I've been putting in a lot of time with the UFO Alert, which I'll talk about next, but the X2 is similarly clean and sharp, and it plays deeper zones more successfully than the Alert. It's kind of like a deeper zone complement. The Alert is amazing outside of third arrow, but I've also needed some boomier stuff that covers more boards to kind of diversify the bag. I've been on and off with it, but kind of got the shape figured out and got it broken in, and with the medium strength clean cover and higher RG core for an ASIM, it's in astrophysics territory, just not quite as early and rolly. It's almost kind of a camo type shape, just stronger naturally. The UFO Alert's been a mainstay since it came out. It's an earlier, smoother, and rounder version of the X2. It doesn't really like to get deeper on the lane, at least not for me, but it's so good at letting me stay straighter and giving me this clean, round, and controlled look that it's halfway like throwing darts. It breezes to 30 feet, starts winding up, and then just kind of rolls the rest of the way. It really feels like a buffed IQ Emerald or something, and I know why it's not more popular than it is, but all you closeout sharks are about to get a gift. I can't imagine the Alert being around much past early 2022. That should be. It's one of the best balls in the catalog right now, but people just want to miss out apparently. The Idle Helios is a new addition to the bag. Usually I can't throw stuff this strong, but it's also pretty clean up front for how much it hooks. It's also pretty strong down lane, and I've always loved this look, this round, rolly, continuous shape. The Helios is like the Idle and Idle Pro combined. It's got the hook of the Idle with the shape of the Pro. It's something you can just send into the spot and watch it pick up and go. The rounder shape makes the pocket bigger, meaning that since it's not sharp or cutting, that you should carry better. It'll trip more fours, carry more light pocket hits, and keep the pins low instead of blasting them up or driving past them. I mean, it's already got a 900, several 300s, and big 800s on it, and it's barely just released, so there's definitely something about it that helps boost scores. I think it's the uncommon combination of length, strength, shape, and control. Lastly, we have the good old-fashioned IQ Tour Solid, which is virtually a cheater ball on the left side. It hasn't cheated quite enough for me here lately, but I've been making it work pretty hard. This is the definition of average across the board. There's not one specific characteristic to point out, it's just a very boring reaction. Boring equals consistent though, and with the extra shape I have to work with on the left, it gives the IQTS extra shape to work with, and that seems to be what it really needs to boost it from control ball to scoring control ball. With the lower differential, it also lets you get away with drilling it stronger. It gives it more punch across the board without flaring a crazy amount, so it kind of turbocharges it while still staying within the IQ Tour idea, or the whole point of having the ball. Switching to Angel, her favorite ball right now is the Honey Badger Intensity. It just got discontinued, but we're going to talk about it anyway. The HBI is kind of like an asymmetric high road. It's got a medium RG, medium high diff, and a mild asymmetry, so it gets down the lane fairly easily, and it's got a nice defined and readable finish. It has a very stable roll to it, though. It's very balanced and consistent. There's not really one thing that stands out about it. It's kind of like a cleaner and sharper IQ Tour Solid. She shot a 299 with it at the beginning of the season, which is currently her high game, and it's pretty well been her benchmark ball ever since. Next, the Reality. It's too strong for her to use it very often, but it's got a really wild blend of traction and usability. It hooks a bunch, but you also don't really have to fight it for length. It's pretty quick on the back end, and it likes playing angles, so it's not one of those strong balls that has to be thrown on volume from straighter angles, so it's kind of like a big buffed or juiced version of her Intensity. You can really see a similar shape or look between the two. Now, she usually keeps it lane shined. Very rarely does she need surface ever. And while you don't want to create overlap with what you're throwing, big sanded stuff just isn't usually needed on league shots, and this gives her a nice 1-2 punch with her HBI if it's a little too clean or weak. Angel also uses the RSTX2 quite a bit. Clean and sharp cover, medium RG, medium torque core, perfect for a medium speed, medium rev bowler. Bowling in a mostly men's scratch league, the rev rates are higher and the shot gets beat up by the end of the night, and she just has to get deep. There's no way around it. The X2 helps her get down the lane and then back up the hill with strength. She usually defaults to cleaner, lower RG and lower differential stuff because of the control, but when she needs a similarly clean and rolly look that'll cover boards, this is her favorite choice. The Hyped Pearl has also become a favorite of hers lately. It's virtually an IQ Emerald with a bit more punch down lane, so a little more strength, a little more shape, but very similar lane and angle control. The HP2 line's been known for years for some legitimately huge releases and the biggest bang for your buck out there, and the Hyped Pearl feels like a smaller Zen or Marvel Pearl type release. Very simple reaction, very readable, meaning there's not a whole lot of nuance to pick up on or try to see. What it's doing is obvious and visible. It's clean and stable rolling with a firm but not sharp move on the back end. Finally, Angel also likes her alert quite a bit, and it fits several different scenarios. If the Hyped Pearl isn't enough but she wants that general shape, UFO alert. If the X2 is a good look but a little too sharp, UFO alert. If the Reality is too strong, UFO alert. I'm really telling you, the alert is that astrophysics, halo pearl, hypercell fused, just consistent, controllable, simple, asymmetric Zen type of look. It does prefer to stay around third arrow or outside of that. Heavier hands will obviously be able to get it back from anywhere, but this is the prototypical league killer type of ball. If the Zen is maybe too early and smooth, the alert actually has a weaker cover and a core that promotes more length in the fronts. It does, however, wind up faster down lane due to the higher friction response of the weaker cover and higher torque of the asymmetric core. Angel uses a Black Belmo spare that we don't have any footage for, so I'm just going to let the alert footage roll some more to beat it into your heads. Now, this is just a collection of what we normally use. Obviously, we switch it up from time to time when new stuff comes out, but this is a blend of heavy use stuff with stuff we'd also recommend. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.